In a league dominated by towering figures,
Man, you shot. I thought I was shot.
players like Darren Sproles and Steve Smith have shown that they belong among the elite, using their unique skills to excel and make their presence felt on the field. From breaking ankles to setting new standards and overcoming these challenges, the shows these short kings put on are nothing short of extraordinary.
If you see this face, that means I scored.
This is Deuce Vaughn, and he's a rookie running back for the Dallas Cowboys. And even though he only stands at 5'4", this preseason has been turning heads with his elusiveness.
How many great running backs over 6'3"? Like, I don't mind it at all. I think when I watch the highlights, I think he's hard to spot. I think he's quick.
And looking to be the replacement for the Cowboys' former center, Ezekiel Elliott. Vaughn is like a magic show when he plays. He's so quick and elusive, even while not being as big as some of the other players that play this position are. He's like a ninja, dodging tackles and running in ways that surprises everyone. It's like he's breaking rules of what people thought he could do. Deuce isn't the only little guy who's made a big impact in football. There are others too, and their stories are pretty cool and who show that big things come in small packages.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
So let's see who's the smallest in our community and comment your hype below, because our next short king was one of the top strong safeties in the game while he was playing. And while standing only at 5'8" and weighing 205 pounds, Bob Sanders still managed to turn heads when he was on the field. And when healthy, Sanders was one of the fastest and toughest defenders on the football field with an amazing field presence. He was given the nickname the Hitman by fellow teammates and coaches because of his ridiculously hard hits on the field. While being drafted in the second round of the 2004 NFL Draft by the Indianapolis Colts, he remained on the Colts for 7 out of his 8 years in the NFL. His best season, though, was in 2007 when he recorded 96 tackles and multiple turnovers. Sanders was known as being a great teammate and an amazing decision maker on the football field when he was healthy. That was the big problem with Sanders, though. He never played a full season in his entire career. Hell, in 2006, he only played 4 games. And despite having a very large number of injuries, Sanders still managed to succeed. Being a 2-time Pro Bowler, Defensive Player of the Year in 2007, and a Super Bowl champion, Sanders has many accolades to prove size at the safety position didn't define his success in the NFL. Now, the next one, I'm not sure many people have heard of. He goes by the name of Wes Welker, and while playing, was a legit superstar and some pretty good quarterbacks' favorite target too.
Really good quarterbacks learn to value slot receivers, and that's what Tom Brady had with Wes Welker. So that was a marriage made in heaven.
And all while standing only at 5'9" and a measly 185 pounds was a legit problem for DBs. Back in 2004, Wes started with the Chargers, but wasn't the best fit.
I'm returning kicks at Houston. I come in there on Wednesday and they cut me. I was pretty pissed off at that point.
And got traded to the Dolphins, where at first was their 3rd best receiver, but he worked hard and got better and better, eventually becoming their top receiver, hauling in a lot of passes. But the Dolphins team was struggling, and Wes needed a better chance to show his real talent. So in 2007, he went to the New England Patriots.
You know, his contract came up and we were like, well, that's the guy we want.
And needless to say, put a show on there. He was like a superhero in catching the ball when it mattered. He used his speed and insane route running to get past anyone who tried to guard him. For 3 years in a row, from 2007 to 2009, Welker got more than 1,100 yards by catching the ball. And in 2009, he had an amazing 1,348 yards in only 13 games. He was so good that he caught more passes than anyone else in the entire league in 2007 and 2009. And him and Brady were something special to watch on Sundays. His stats prove how amazing he was, and while it's weird to say he never won a Super Bowl, even while alongside Brady and Manning, he had been selected to the Pro Bowl 5 times and first team All-Pro twice, proving to everyone that he was once one of the best receivers in the NFL, even though he wasn't as big as some of the other players. And by far, the shortest king that everyone feared
He was pure running back. Pure. The man was born to run with the football.
Maurice Christopher Jones-Drew, better known as MJD. MJD was amazing on the field. Playing in the NFL for 9 seasons made his mark despite only being a 5'7" 210-pound bowling ball at the running back position. While being one of the most versatile running backs in the game, MJD could pound it through the line for a first down, or he could split to the outside and outrun the entire defense for an 80-yard touchdown. And if he really wanted to, he could run a 20-yard pattern and catch a deep pass, acting as a receiver. He played the every down back role that every team needed to have in their running back.
He could catch the ball coming out of the backfield. He could do everything. Maurice JonesDrew was the ultimate utility infielder. He was that Swiss Army knife. However they needed him to play, he played. Power, speed, receiver, return man.
This 5'7" Goliath could do what every NFL player wanted to do, anything. After having a couple above average seasons as the second string running back in Jacksonville, JonesDrew was made the starter in 2009, and that's when things really took off. He accumulated 1,765 all-purpose offensive yards and 16 offensive touchdowns, not to mention he returned kicks a few times too. But before he was in the NFL, he played college football for UCLA, and while there was a unanimous All-American, showing out every single Saturday. Maurice was chosen by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2006 NFL Draft in the second round with the 60th pick.
He was really upset about being a second round pick, and I said, "So you got a chip on your shoulder?" And his reply is, "No, I have a can of Pringles on my shoulder." And that kind of set the tone for Maurice JonesDrew's career.
And during his NFL career, did some amazing things, playing in the Pro Bowl 3 times, and even led the whole NFL in rushing yards, taking home the rushing title in 2011. For most of his career, Maurice played with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but in his last season, played for the Oakland Raiders, after he finished playing football and became an analyst for different TV shows. MJD did a lot of cool things before he became famous in the NFL too. He went to a high school called De La Salle, and their football team was amazing, and still is. While there, he never lost a single game. Even when he was young, Maurice was still fast, taking part in the track team at his school, and even won a state championship and earned himself a scholarship to UCLA. When Maurice joined the NFL, people didn't think he would do well because he was a bit shorter compared to the other players, but proved them all wrong. Hell, the dude even wore number 32 as his jersey to show that he could be great even though he was passed by every single NFL team in the first round of the draft, including his own team that drafted him. So it's safe to say he was out to make a name for himself. And at the beginning of his NFL journey, he was mostly a special teams guy on kickoffs, but later would make his name as a running back. And in the game against the Colts, he ran for so many yards that he broke a record for most rushing yards in a game for the Jags. MJD was just as talented catching the ball out of the backfield too. And after he finished playing football, joined TV shows and talked about football to other people, and even became an analyst for the Los Angeles Rams. Maurice JonesDrew was an amazing player who showed you that you can be small in size but big in talent. He did things that so many people didn't expect, and he became famous for his skills on the football field. And even after he retired, continued to share his love for football with everyone. And in the world of football, the stories of these remarkable athletes remind us that greatness knows no bounds. Their journeys inspire us to believe in the power of determination, skill, and passion, regardless of physical attributes. Their ability to overcome challenges, break records, and earn recognition demonstrates that success is defined by what you bring to the game, not just by how tall you stand. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see some more inspiring stories from around the world of sports, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And shout out to all our short kings in the community.